So, in these set of lectures, I will be give a brief introduction to thermal physics. So, essentially I will be talking about thermal physics. First thing will be heat and temperature. I will be doing heat and temperature. I will tell you what is heat and what is temperature. Secondly, kinetic theory of gas. Thirdly, thermodynamics. And fourth, thermal properties. Of matter. So, as we know, materials have properties, elasticity and other properties which are mechanical properties. Here I will be talking about thermal properties of matter, which means if I increase the temperature, how does a material respond to that change in temperature? That is what is reflected in the thermal properties of matter. Then what is kinetic theory? I will elaborate on that, and what is thermodynamics? I will also elaborate on that. Now, let me first ask the question, what is heat? So, first question which I am going to ask is, what is heat? Well, in physics we know everything we deal with has to do with energy. So, we talk about mechanical energy, which we learn at length in our mechanics course. These had two pieces. One is kinetic energy, which we talk about, and then for interacting systems, which we talk about also potential energy. If there is a force, a particle is subjected to a force, we can talk about a potential energy. So, heat is nothing but a form of energy, a form of energy. Okay? Well, how do I know it is a form of energy? We know that anything which is related to energy can be obtained from other forms of energy. So, what do we know? For example, if I have a rough surface, with a friction, and then I drive an object on this surface, I push it, then I know I generate heat. That means the mechanical energy is converted to heat energy. Okay? So, energy flows from one end to the other. We know heat energy goes from hotter to cooler bodies. This is how it propagates. So, it is the form of energy. And what is temperature? Temperature is a measure which dictates which direction heat flows. Okay? It always flows from higher to lower temperature. So, when I talk about temperature, I know that temperature should be measured with something called thermometer. Okay. We know of mercury thermometers in our day-to-day use, and we can think of various other kinds of thermometer, but here let us try to give some different description of temperature. Temperature in the sense of kinetic theory of gas, I can say temperature capital T. I will soon tell you what is capital T. Capital T is the temperature measured in some scale which I will call absolute scale of temperature. This I am going to define soon. So, kinetic theory of gas, there is a definition of temperature which says that T is proportional to average. This word is very, very important, this word average. Okay. Average translational, that is also very, very important, and I will be talking about ideal gases mostly. It is a kinetic energy. So, it will be proportional to kinetic energy of the molecule.